Black Ops 6 Zombies completely changed with the release of Double Tap, with some weapons gaining massive buffs while others not so much, changing the meta completely. And because of that, today I want to give you my updated list with the top 5 weapons in the game after the Double Tap release. So as always, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe for more content, and let's get this. Alright guys, so kicking things off with number 5, we have the Fang 82 LMG, and to be honest, I wanted to put here the ASVAL or the new AMAX, but this weapon does so much damage, is absolutely ridiculous. This thing does 8.5 thousand damage on the crit spot when pack 3 legendary, which is absolutely insane. And because we have double tap now, as you guys know, this is a super slow firing weapon, but now that we got double tap, it increases the fire rate by I think more than 30%. So this weapon is gonna be an absolute beast. And I also have the augment that increases that damage the more you shoot at the target, and it does this. Damage goes up to 12,000 per shot, which is absolutely ridiculous. This might be the highest damage full automatic weapon in the game. Like, I don't think there's anything that comes close to this. Like, this thing is just ridiculous. And it's pretty good for bosses as well. It's still a kind of a slow weapon because at the end of the day, it's an LMG. But I mean, it does so much work, and this used with like the correct ammo mod, for example using with Deadwire, can really take down hordes so easily at the higher rounds. I mean, look at the Mangler just going down 22,000 damage on the Mangler when using Nepal mode. Like, that is ridiculous. If you combine this with a good ammo mod and with Deadshot and everything, especially if you're on controller to auto aim at the head, yeah, you're gonna do some real damage. The loadout is going to be on the screen right now. This is what really works for me. I'm not using the biggest magazine because still I want a bit of extra mobility, but not gonna lie, this weapon is absolutely fantastic, but only takes the number 5 spot because there's so many better weapons in the game right now that double tap is here. So let's move on. Alright guys, moving on to the number 4 spot, we do have the ASG-89 shotgun. Now, as you guys know, this is pretty much a fan favorite weapon, one of the better weapons in the game, especially for the boss fights, but luckily with the double tap release, this weapon got an even better. This will absolutely destroy any boss you throw at it, because if you use double tap with the increased fire rate augment and also the double standard augment, which basically doubles the non-critical damage, this will do a ridiculous amount of damage to bosses. As you can see in the background, I'm fighting a Terminus boss, and well, the only thing I can say, that guy got absolutely cooked. Like, it does more damage on the non-crit spot than on the crit spot, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, we pretty much beaten a phase in less than a magazine, which is kind of insane. Of course, if using the correct ammo mod. For the higher rounds, I would not really advise anybody to use this like around 45 to 50 because I still feel like it lacks a bit of damage, but it's a very nice weapon. If you combine it with like a good ammo mod, for example, if you want to have like a bit of crowd control, maybe use it with Deadwire so you can have that lightning strike activation and reduce the health of the zombies and everything like that. But I would definitely pick something else for the really higher rounds, but this is pretty much one of those weapons that is really good against the bosses. If you want to go for Liberty Falls boss, well, you can't really call that a boss, or Terminus, or for the Tomb, this weapon is absolutely perfect for you. It will do a ridiculous amount of damage and will get you to every phase with absolute ease. The loadout is gonna be on the screen right now. I will not advise you guys to use the Dragon's Breath because I'm pretty sure double tap doesn't work with that, so just put on the rapid fire attachment to increase the fire rate even more. So at the end of the day, if you're struggling with one of the bosses in the game, definitely give the ASG a go right now with double tap and the double standard augment, and you'll definitely make things a lot easier. On the number 3 spot, we have a very interesting weapon which has a pretty nice pack-a-punch ability. This is the GPMG LMG. Now, honestly, I did not think I was gonna put this in here, but double tap makes this weapon an absolute monster. Not only you have a very nice pack ability, which basically turns the weapon into a perfect hipfire machine, because you don't basically have to ADS. It's much like the Compact 92 SMG. It has like the perfect crosshair, so you can just like hipfire and move around, but it gets a massive fire rate increase with the double tap augment, and it's pretty much a minigun. As you can see in the background, we are cruising through the zombies, and this thing is extremely good for bosses as well, especially on the Citadel Daymore boss fight. We did make a video recently with this, and it absolutely destroyed the boss right there. For this, when it comes to double tap, of course, we're gonna use the increase the fire rate even more augment, and I am using the augment that does more damage the more you shoot a target. Basically, if you shoot a target twice, you're gonna do more damage, I think it's up to 50% more damage on the second shot, and it goes up to almost 7,000 damage on the crit spot, making this weapon extremely good because the fire rate it's well above 1200 rounds per minute, which is kind of insane. And if you put the biggest magazine in there, which is 175, you're gonna get 350 rounds in the mag one pack, having enough bullets to rain down fire on the hordes of zombies. The loadout is gonna be on the screen right now. Again, at the end of the day, this is gonna be a bit of a slower weapon because it's an LMG. You're putting the biggest magazine in there. You can definitely use a smaller mag, but with that fire rate, you want to have as many bullets as possible to shoot at your target. Again, as I said, very good for bosses, very good for crown control as well, especially if you use it with Deadwire as with the ASG, because that lightning activation is just gonna help you so much. And it's just very good because it has a ton of bullets. So I will highly advise anybody to give this a go against anything you want in the game. Now, on the number 2 spot, I have one of my favorite weapons in the game. This is the SVD sniper rifle. At the end of the day, this, I know it's a pretty slow firing weapon, but it packs a heavy punch. When pack a punch, this has a very nice ability. It turns pretty much into a shotgun sniper. It has the shotgun crosshair and it shoots 3 sniper bullets, dealing insane amount of damage. And honestly, up close, you don't have to ADS with it because that crosshair is absolutely perfect. But with double tap, there's an augment called double standard, much like with the ASG, that doubles the non-critical damage, and this thing is gonna be absolutely ridiculous. It does over 7,000 damage per shot on the non-crit hit, and it shoots 3 bullets at once, going to almost 21,000 damage per shot. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. It's a 3-shot kill to the health cap, and it does an insane amount of damage to the critical hit as well. I think it does over 12,000 damage per shot, which is kind of insane. But this thing will melt any boss you throw at it right now, especially with that double standard augment. And of course, you want to have the increased fire rate as well, because this thing shoots a bit slow, but actually double tap makes it a bit better when it comes to the fire rate as well. It does have a bit of a disadvantage when it comes to the reload speed and the ammo in the magazine, but you know, it makes up in damage. This thing, as I said, will melt any boss you throw at it. The loadout is going to be on the screen right now. I try to make it as good as possible for mobility and also have a bit of ammo in the magazines. And as you can see in the background, this thing absolutely cooks the Xerex boss fight. It cooks pretty much the Terminus boss fight as well. It's very good for Citadel also, and crowd control, well, you're not gonna have an issue, of course, if you are using it with some decent ammo mods. Again, much like Deadwire or even Shadow Rift, it's actually pretty good, or even Cryo Freeze. So at the end of the day, if you really want to go for some high rounds, I will highly advise to give the SVD a go, because it's a pretty darn fantastic weapon right now with these double tap augments. Now, moving on to the number 1 spot, well, here we have the AMR mod for sniper. This already used to be one of the best weapons in the game, but with double tap, well, it got an even better. Not only that it gets a fire rate increase, but if you use the double standard augment that doubles the non-critical damage, this thing does 19,000 damage in the body, and it does on the crit spot 22,000. So it's basically not even worth it to go for the crit spots anymore. You can just shoot a body and 3-shot any zombies at any round, which is kind of ridiculous. This thing melts any bosses you throw at it, especially on the Citadel and on the Xerex fight. I feel like the Xerex fight is extremely easy using this weapon, because yeah, 19,000 damage, well, you're not gonna do that much against the boss, but well, with the fire rate that it has, it's just absolutely insane. This might be one of the highest damaging weapons per second, which is absolutely insane. Like, it shoots so fast, it's ridiculous. Of course, much like the SVD, it's gonna be a bit of a heavy weapon because it's a sniper. It's gonna be a bit slow, and you're gonna have a bit of a slow reload and not many bullets in the magazine. But as I said, when it comes to damage, you are gonna have absolutely no issues taking down anything in the game. If you use the correct ammo mod, HVTs will go down extremely quick. The loadout is gonna be on the screen right now. Again, I try to make this a bit for mobility and to have a bit of extra ammo in the magazines and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you can pretty much put whatever you want on this thing and you're gonna do just fine after you put on double tap. Like, as I said, you don't have to aim at the head anymore. You can just spam the body and you'll do insane amount of damage, and you're not going to struggle with anything in the game. Like, if you want to fight Citadel, the more boss fight, use this. If you want to go for Terminus, or if you want to go for even the Tomb or the new Shadowvale map boss fight, yeah, just use this. You're gonna have absolutely no issues. We made a video about this weapon, and against the Z-Rex, it absolutely destroyed it. Way easier than using the Ray Gun Mark II SMG variant. But anyways guys, this is gonna be my top 5 list for now. I know there's many other weapons in the game that are absolutely insane right now, so if we are hitting 500 likes on this video, I am going to make a part 2 of this, because I really want to showcase even more weapons. Double tap really changed the way we play the game, and I feel like there's so many choices in the game right now. It's absolutely amazing, and going for the higher rounds definitely is a bit easier. So as always, smash the like button, subscribe for more content. Let me know in the comments what you think about my top 5 list, and let me know if yours is different. I really want to hear your guys' opinion, and I really want you guys to let me know what do you think about double tap so far. I think it's a pretty great perk. I'm fine that it doesn't do double damage on the crit spots as well, like it's not double tap 2.0, but that fire rate increase really helps out. Especially some of the weapons in the game. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.